morning. How are you today? All good? So remember, you still owe me a homework that I haven't checked yet. The homework about a current trend, a global trend, or current one of the hottest trends for the philosophy of management or the methods of management. Okay, so I've give you around 5 minutes for you to review the homework. It is an individual homework, so I would like to call a few members in our class, 2 to 3 members, to present your homework. Okay, you don't need to prepare any slides. Just show me what you did and what you and how did you solve the questions. Okay, so 5 minutes. Tụi em coi lại cái bài tập về nhà mà lần trước cô có giao cho mọi người mà cô chưa sửa đó. Bài tập là nói về một cái current trend for management. Thì tụi em có thể nói về nhiều vấn đề khác nhau. Thì cơ bản là các bạn sẽ explain what is the current trend that you think about, and then you may give some thoughts about the advantages or the benefits of the current trends, or any challenges and any difficulties that are involved with that trends for managers. And then you can give me one example, one case study. So again, explain what it is, and then you may give an analysis of some advantages and disadvantages related to the trend, and then you support your explanation with an example. Okay, so I think that I can give you around 10 minutes so that you can have more time for preparation. 10 minutes, time's up. So, Minh Quân, can you share your screen and begin?
Okay, teacher. Okay, can you see my screen right now?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Firstly, there are eight current trend and issue in Vietnam, and I immensely passionate about business in Vietnam market, and I want to talk about it. So, first of all, a marketing current trends and issue as Vietnam is business market, and I also talk about how to adapt to a current trend. Let's begin with introduction. According to the country report 2021 released by Vietnam Merit, with a growth rate of 18% and market value 11.8 billion USD in e-commerce, is one of the fastest growing economic sector in Vietnam despite the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. The company I want to talk about is Shopee. That's which everybody already know about it. Shopee is an e-commerce company owned by the Singapore-based Sea Group, and the first social market where everyone can browse and buy and sell. Shopee offer a wide range of products, complemented by a secure payment method and innovative inspiration to create fun and safer free shopping and sale experience. So that's the definition. So I want to talk more about it and analyze it. So let's begin with objective of Shopee. Aim to enhance social shopping standard in Vietnam by addressing a need for a more comprehensive social chain experience by providing secure payments, live chat function, integrated logistics and inventory management. Their intention is to build an integrated and trustworthy platform for both their seller and customer. And once they set up, we'll see the monetization. So the next one to talk about is what market trends in Shopee. Shopee is an application online shop that show the e-commerce market on the mobile platform. The mobile shopping app is a ranked highest in download and list of Unistore revenue, custom rating, and others. Shopee overcome the Lazada to rank the best app on both Google Play and iOS App Store. This is important because Southeast Asia is the first region where users are more likely to find and compare products using mobile device. And finally, I want to talk about how Shopee promotes in-market and how to adapt the current trends. So Shopee promotes their market using feature driving growth and mobile marketing and app marketing long-term prospect unknown. I want to list off all of them like long-term prospect unknown, and the next one is a feature driving growth include network notification, social search, and the final one is Facebook is also collaborative with the Shopee to promote their marketing products and applications to everyone. And the next one is mobile marketing is adapt to marketing current trend. Shopee are the one leading mobile e-commerce platform in Vietnam where buyer and seller can communicate and mark transaction directly. Shopee has continued to focus on mobile commerce as mobile penetration. And the final one is a major format. Shopee can send update information through messaging, display, and search and video. So, and the next one is app marketing is and adapt to marketing current trends. And Shopee buyers can purchase their product from the app through a secure payment service, displaying interface with live chat in the app function. Shopee integrates social feature including hashtag function, which allow user to find the most popular trend product and compete the latest trend. So I want to talk about issues and challenges that Shopee has encountered. For the problematic products, can impact a seller in two ways: sales performance and operational performance. Let's talk about sales performance. There are the particular issue that you can encounter in terms of sales, include the niche views and fewer sales, poor conversion rate, and poor reviews. There are the potential product issue that you should mindful of, and a high return request. It will be asked direct decision of the seller if he will approve the return request, and approval of return and refund requests are usually on the case-to-case basis. And the last one is high late ship orders. According to Shopee fulfillment policy, seller can have a late shipment rate up to 50%, and if you exceed it, you will get the one penalty point. So I want the final one. I want to talk about the solution and how to solve the issue. Make sure that you have a sufficient stock of your product. Prepare the orders based on priority or deadline. Ship your item on time. Turn your vacation mode on when you are on the road and you cannot fulfill orders. Provide accurate information so that the customer have a right expectation for your product. And that's in my all I want to share my perspective to everyone, and I very appreciate for your listening. Yeah, that's all. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. I found your presentation quite interesting, and you notice one of the hottest trends all over the world, which is the application of social media and online marketing in business. And you were able to explain what is actually e-marketing, and you were also able to identify some opportunities and challenges related to the trends, and you did give some solutions. So quite good. However, I would like to recommend that you may direct your focus more on the management, like on the strategy of management, or on the methods of management from the perspective of the managers, because your analysis, like, it is related to the business in general. Okay, it covers all of different areas in business, and it's about the issues and the solutions for business in general. So it is better if you can focus more on the perspective of management. Okay, you understand what I mean? So thank you. Anyone else? Khánh Linh.
Okay, teacher. So right now I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. So here is I'm also talking about the current trends about e-business too. But right now I'm going to talk about the marketing. How the company using how they adapt their marketing plan in the e-business. Yes. So one of the current trend right now I found for the marketer that they're using the gamification for their marketing plans. So what is gamification? So it is the process of applying game mechanism to non-gaming activity for the user to keep interacting with the company. So it appear in different fields like marketing, product design, software product development, and even in business management. So why has gamification has been used most in the company marketing activity? So right now when we use the company goal is after they educate the customer, the last thing they want to do is how do they conserve their customer base and how they keep uh, interacting with the customer so they can convert the customer into the loyal one. And using gamification is one of the most common way, common trend on of the business company try to do it right now. So they use it because it's increasing the engagement between the customer and the brand, and also it's increasing the the customer about the brand awareness and the loyalty, and it's make the promotion more interesting. It also help the customer to educate about your product and your service. But there's a lot of challenges, which is creating a gamification is not easy, so it takes time and money for the game development. And because the game is not only to make to entertain the customer, but it's also help you to promote your service, your product. And it's also you have to consider the goal is keeping the customer to increase your company benefit. So and also the challenges is quite like the user is limited. It's for the young generation. Your target user is limited. Like, so the young generation is the only customer can use this marketing plan because these people can use mobile phone and they like playing games. So why do the customer enjoy gamification? So it hit the customer behavior and the psychology. They people human are really competitive. We have a chart for to rank to keep a rank. So people really want to be the first person. So they try so hard to play game every day to get the high rank, and they want to be rewarded. So the gift for the winner usually have a virtual gift the bonus point, and the customer really want to have entertainment time, and they design to have fun. And how does Shopee use the gamification successfully? So we can see that they are trying to use the contingency approach, which is they try to adapt the shift of the external environment, which is the customer is Gen Z. This generation was born between 1997 to 2012. These this generation has been raised in internet, in social media, so they have to innovate the marketing lane to meet the customer need. So before we can see that all of the brand when they want to engage, interact with the customer, we go to the supermarket, we can see that they make a lot of game and invite us to join them in the game. But for the Gen Z, usually we are quite shy and we don't really like being on the route. We just want to do it individually. So I think that using the gamification, they can spend their time only to play game and have fun by themselves. So the key customer, Shopee have identified their customer is young population, which is who use the digital device frequently and spend their time, most of their time only in games. And they are also a smart shopper. They research the product before shopping anything on Shopee. So this is the picture, the data of the how much the young population using their digital device. So Gen Z in 2021, they are 99% population using it, and the purpose. So Shopee want to keep the user interacting with an app every day by updating a new event or a new game. So they can go to the app and play it every day, and also they can promote the product while the customer playing game. After we playing game, we can see that they will give us some virtual gift and promote their product. And the bright is they have a Shopee coin which can use to purchase to shop anything you want on Shopee, and there's some voucher and discount. You can use it later. So the user will try. We urge the user to hunt and play the game every day, so they can shopping with the cheap price, and sometimes it's free. So there's a variety of game and mission and event. Shopee try to make it so keep the increasing the engagement of the customer, the user. So they will feel we will feel excited and never bored to use this app. So there's some games about it. Like you can see that there's advertisements. And here is the first game is shooting ball, and here's the game. Yeah, after I have played it, and after every round I will get some like I think the star, and that star you can purchase into Shopee coin, and the Shopee coin you can purchase some to buy stuff, the real stuff. Also, but even though it's just the virtual gift, and this is another game forming the coin. So for this one is easy, you don't need to play anything, you just choosing the seed and keep watering it and then shaking it. After that we have a Shopee coin, so you can use it to get a real gift, and shake the coin so you can get the coin easily. And like, but this game is quite like Candy Rush. And after that, you can also have a gift like a voucher here. Okay, and Lucky Wheel. The Lucky Wheel is every day if you come to the Shopee app, you will get the Lucky Wheel, and you will have the gift for free. Every gift for free like voucher or Shopee coin, so you can use it later. Yes. So that is the end of my presentation.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. So Khánh Linh talk about gamification marketing, which is also a very interesting trend, and it has somehow transformed the way that the young business entities can do their marketing. And as you mentioned, gamification marketing can help to enhance better engagement between customer and the brand, and also increase the customer's awareness of the brand. So it involves a lot of advantages, but it's also a new trend. So the young managers, they need to be open their minds. They need to think out of the box, and they need to be very creative and innovative in the way they do in the way that they do the management in order to oversee and control the whole marketing process. Okay, and it's one good point that you did mention that Shopee has applied contingency approach. What does it mean, contingency approach? It means that the managers, they need to be proactive, and they need to be they need to understand and foresee new events or the new opportunities or new trends that will happen. So they need to foresee, and they need to be proactive to those changes. And the contingency approach helps to increase the flexibility of management in order to adapt to the contextual changes. So in this case, yeah, I agree that Shopee has successfully applied contingency approach. Yeah, but they also need they also need to keep innovating, and they also need to keep controlling in order to ensure that everything is on track. So it's too soon to say that they are 100% successful, but it's a good sign that they have transformed, and they try to to increase the innovation in the business. Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. I would like to call someone else. Anyone else? So you can see that um, the thinking or the mindsets of young managers somehow they are different from from the traditional methods of management. Like it is different from how the managers so many years ago they perform their jobs. It's not in the same way anymore. And the transformation also involves a lot of difficulties because it requires the consistency and the agreement of different layers of managers throughout the organization. So it requires the understanding, the agreement, and the commitment from employees and managers as well. Anyone else? I would like to call one more. How about okay? Mm, let me see. Okay. So how about Phúc Nam? Are you there? Phúc Nam. Okay, your Wi-Fi is unstable. So may you unmute your mic and share a little bit about your homework? Is it okay? Okay, while we are waiting for Phúc Nam, I would like to call another one, Sầm Ngọc Chi.
Yes, I'm here. Wait a minute. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I will tell you about the current trend and issues from e-business or the business transaction that take place online via the The internet are referred to as e-business or online business. Electronic business is known as e-business. We are all exposed to many types of e-business in today's society, such as Shopee, Lazada, Tiki. It has gone as a breakneck pace since its inception. Some experts believe it could soon totally replace physical business. While that remains to be seen, we cannot overlook its enormous effect on the global economy today. The features online business has, are as follows: it's easy to set up, no geographical boundaries, much cheaper than traditional business. They are flexible business hour, marketing changes, costless. Online business receive from the government. They also have a few securities and integrity issues. There is no personal thought. Buyer and seller don't meet, and the deliveries of product take times. There's a transaction risk. Anyone can buy anything from anywhere at any times, and the finally the transaction risks are higher than traditional business. And I think we have some types of e-commerce. E-commerce. Now there are actually many types of e-business. It all depends on who the final customer. Some of the types of e-commerce are as follows. First of all is the business to the business. This means the producer and traditional commerce wholesalers typically operate with these types of electronic commerce. The second is the business to customer. This means when a customer buys a product from a seller, then it is a business to customer transaction. People shopping from Flickr, Amazon, it is an example of business to consumer transaction. The third is the customer to customer. This means a customer selling a product or service to another customer is a customer to customer transaction. These types of transaction generally occur for second-hand products. The website is only the facilitator, not the provider of the goods or the service. The fourth is the customer to business. This means there is a complete result of the traditional sense of exchanging goods. This type of e-commerce is very common in crowdsourcing based projects. And next is the consumer to administration. It's a model compass on electronic transaction conduct between individual and public administration. Some examples of application includes uh, include education, disseminating information, or distant learning, or social security through the distribution of information, making payment, or tax, filing tax return payment, and final is health apportionment information about illness, payment for health service, and the final types of e-commerce is the business, the business to administration. This part of e-commerce encompasses on transaction conduct online by companies and public administration or the government and its various agencies. And we have some example. The example of e e-business include both other companies that successfully transform themselves for the digital age, as well as newer, more digital in, in, entities. The most notable is business example is Amazon, which as world largest e-commerce marketplace and largest internet company based on revenues, has used its e-business model to disrupt numerous established industries from pub, publishing to supermarkets, Uber Eats, Uber Food, ordering and delivering platform launched in 2014 is an example of how e-business and expand in the digital age, or travel sites like Expedia, Travelocities, and TripAdvisor that enable consumers to research, plan, and book on a piece of their trip based on personalized criteria such as price, consumer rating, location, and more, or other is business model example. And it also has some benefits, like it has strategically strength house corporations as well as non-profit government agencies and other such institutions operate, allowing them to increase productivity, lower costs, and move more quickly. Digital system reduce the time between invoicing and payment, thereby improve case flow for the business. Next, the digital system that power e-business can also extend an organization reach beyond its brick and mortar world. Cloud-based business application enable workers to perform their job from home and other remote locations such as Slian size its application, and the 24/7 nature of the internet allows business transactions to continue around the clock and around the global, giving even solo practitioners and small business their ability to be global enterprise. Next, we have digital system and particularly emerging technologies such as machine learning and artificial intelligence have also improved the ease, speed, and effectiveness of numerous e-business tasks, such as achieving information, search, searching store data or insights, recording financial transactions, and connecting with customers with personalized message. And finally, e-commerce software has enabled the creation of entirely new business models such as eBay, capacitation, capacity for customer to customer and business to customer self, and social networking sites such as Facebook, and the e-business also have some challenge, like the level and types of challenge which electronic business vary from one organization to the next, depend on a whole of factor from whether they use digital service to enable e-business in only part of their operation to whether digital uh, re- surveys power their cost value proportion to whether they have legacy technologies infrastructure or they born digital. However, some common trends exist through challenges include the following: securities and business service against cyber attack. Next is scaling service fast enough to meet demand without jeopardizing performance. The third is involving their technologies fast enough to keep pace with changing market dynamic. The fourth is finding and training workers who can keep pace with skill that constantly need to evolve. And the final is keeping pace with business capability that by their electronic nature are always on. Additionally, many companies changes to process broadcast from sale instance of e-business within their organization to integrating e-business service and using them to transform themselves into digital operation where the various e e-business element, element converse and work seamlessly together.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think that is quite enough for the presentation. Your presentation is quite long, and because we do not have much time, so I'm sorry, but okay. So I have checked some of you homeworks, and I can see that you all recognize the innovation of technology as a new trend for the current for the current management in the modern world. However, I would like you to direct more focus on the analysis of the transformation in the management methods. Okay, you were able to explain the global trend. You were able to explain their impacts, their threats and their opportunities and their benefits. It's really good, and you were also able to give recommendations. However, again, try to think about how those trends can have influence on the way that the organizational the way that the managers they perform their planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. How they have been transformed. You understand my point? Yeah. So like how these trends have changed the way that the managers can do planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Yeah, it is a very important thing. So think about it. And yeah, you can also consider applying some relevant management theories such as contingency approach, the scientific management, organizational behavior in your analysis. So make sure that you have the link between the theories and the way that you analyze the trends. You understand? Mọi người đều có làm bài tập về nhà ha, và mọi người làm cũng rất là kỹ nữa, thì cô thấy mọi người rất là nghiêm túc cho bài tập về nhà. Tuy nhiên là như cô đã nói là mình cố gắng mình direct cái sự phân tích của mình vào cái cách mà những cái phương pháp quản trị nó đã thay đổi như thế nào. Tức là mình tập trung chú ý hơn, tức là cái trends này đương nhiên là nó sẽ ảnh hưởng cái business và nó sẽ ảnh hưởng rất là rộng, nhưng mà cụ thể hơn là cái người managers, cái cách mà họ perform cái managing roles and responsibilities của họ thì nó có những gì thay đổi. Ví dụ như trước đây thì họ control, họ oversee, họ leading như thế nào, và bây giờ nó có gì thay đổi thì các em nên cố gắng tập trung hơn về cái điều đấy. Cô ví dụ một cách đơn giản nha. Khi mà mình có cái ví dụ như là mình có cái virtual office and we have the COVID-19 pandemic and we have the virtual office and online meetings, so you can see that this technological innovation has changed the way that the managers control the employees. Previously, the managers, they need to keep their eyes on the employees, need to observe everything, need to control the whole process. But currently, they just want to make sure that, okay, you are my employee, you understand your role, you have to do your tasks. So I give you the task objectives, then you perform it, and then you give back to me the results. So I will control you via the results, via the checklist, or via the working hour schedule. So there are different ways that I can use to control you, such as the timesheet or the reports. Okay, but I don't need to keep my eyes on you for the whole days any longer. So the way that the controlling process is performed has been changed. So think about how these trends have changed the way that the managers perform their job, have changed the leadership, have changed the supervision in the organizations. Now I would like to continue our lecture. Okay, before we continue, I would like to do a quick recap. A recap of what has been going on. Can you see my slide? Can you see my screen now? Okay, so in third chapter, organizational culture and environment. Just to remind you, you need to remember the omnipotent and symbolic view of management. According to the omnipotent view, managers, they are directly responsible for all of the organization's success and failure. And the managers, they are held accountable for an organization's performance, and it's very difficult to attribute good or poor performance directly to their influence on the organization. So according to this omnipotent view, the managers, they have to be 100% responsible for everything happening to their firm. Meanwhile, in the contrast, we have symbolic view. According to the symbolic view, the success or failure of the organization can be explained by the external forces outside of managers' control, and the ability of managers to affect outcomes is influenced and constrained by external factors. So that's why we need to analyze the external environment, because we also have the symbolic view. But actually, in reality, we need to have the balance between omnipotent view and symbolic view. Okay, actually, there are some range. There is a range of areas which managers can control tightly, but there are also some external factors that the managers, they cannot control. They can just predict, foresee, analyze, and prepare for the changes, but they cannot 100% control everything happening outside the business. For example, we have the macro environment and the micro environment. For the micro, the managers, they can react, they can influence, but for the macro environment, or for the general environment, it's very hard to influence the general environmental factors. The managers, they can just analyze, they can just foresee, and like they outline the plans to control, to overcome all the stress and take advantages of the opportunities. So you need to remember that we have different types of organization. We have different types of environments. So we have internal environment, and we have external environment. Within the external environment, we have economic, global, political, sociological, technological, demographic. Remember the PESTEL, the PESTEL diagram that I told you previously. Think about politics, technological, environmental, social, legality, and economics. But not all of them can have significant impacts on the business. So you might just need to select the most relevant ones for your analysis. And regarding the internal factors, it involves all the resources, the strengths and weaknesses of the business that the leaders, they have to control very tightly. So for the external, based on analyzing the external, they can point out their opportunities and threats. I will type it here so that you can follow more easily. So when managers analyze the external environment, they can point out, or they can recognize opportunities and threats. For the internal environmental analysis, it can analyze strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so regarding the external environment, they need to analyze external forces in order to point out opportunities and threats. Regarding the internal environment, they need to analyze strengths and weaknesses. Okay, and this recognition is very helpful for them to outline the strategies for the short-term as well as long-term future plan. Now, you still remember about different types of environment. We have two criteria, two factors to consider, including degree of change and degree of complexity. Okay, so we have 4 cells. Cell 1, stable and simple. Cell 2, dynamic and simple. Cell 3, complex and stable. And cell 4, complex and dynamic. Remember that you need to consider the scale and the structure of the business. The larger scale and the more complicated structure will involve more elements in the environment, and it means that the business would be more complex. Okay. In contrast, if the scale is smaller and if the structure is if the structure is quite organic or quite small, or the business they have the small scale, so in this case the degree of complexity would be low, so the business could be simple. Okay, so you need to consider the scale and the structure of the business, and you can also consider whether the managers they can predict the future changes. If they can predict quite accurately, I can call it dynamic. I can call it stable environment. But if they cannot predict, or if it is very hard for them to predict, unpredictable environment, I can call it dynamic environment. Okay, so you can think about examples to illustrate 4 cells as we have already discussed in the previous class. Now, so I would like to share with you this clip. A moment, please. Before I show you the clip, just want to let you know, if you focus on analyze external environment and internal environment, then you can demonstrate, you can represent your analysis in a SWOT model. SWOT analysis. And what does it mean, the SWOT? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay, so we have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Again, the strengths and the weaknesses, they arise internally, so they are related to the internal environment analysis. The opportunities and threats, they arise externally, and they are related to the external environment analysis. So I would like to share with you the clip of the SWOT analysis of Starbucks. Okay. So please spend time on watching the clip. And after that, I need you to, and during your watching, I would like you to take notes. Please take notes of all the main points. And then I can ask you later, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses of Starbucks? Okay, you can rely on the clip to get information, but you can also think about some additional information or some other information that you can figure out by yourself. So you don't need to totally rely on the clip. You can add more details based on your thinking, based on your opinions. Okay, so you can start watching now. Mọi người xem clip và take notes cho cô những cái strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats của Starbucks. Ngoài nội dung trên clip, mọi người có thể add thêm thông tin dựa vào cái phân tích cá nhân của mọi người, hoặc là dựa vào quan sát, dựa vào cái ý kiến cá nhân, mọi người có thể bổ sung thêm và cô sẽ hỏi sau đó ha. Mọi người có thể bắt đầu xem ngay.
Great. So in this lesson, our goal would be to apply the SWOT framework in practice. Shouldn't be that difficult, right? The company we'll examine is Starbucks, the well-known U.S. coffee company and coffeehouse chain. It was founded in Seattle in 1971 and operates in several countries around the world. Let's start with the company's strengths. First, almost everyone knows its brand, right? So it definitely has a strong brand recognition. Starbucks has been proclaimed the most recognized coffee brand in the world, quite an advantage regarding other companies in the industry. The firm's brand is one offering of a differentiated product to customers, which is coherent with its strategy and pricing. Clients have expressed they love the atmosphere in Starbucks coffee houses. They can use free Wi-Fi and enjoy the coffee drinking experience to the fullest. The company owns thousands of outlets around the world, and its clients can find it even when traveling overseas. That's a strong advantage as it ensures loyal clients can remain such even overseas. And finally, Starbucks supply chain management ensures the quality of coffee served to customers is excellent. The company chooses its suppliers carefully, which improves the quality of its products and ensures clients receive a super coffee experience. This is another choice in sync with its differentiation strategy. Okay, very good. Let's take off our rosy glasses and consider some of the firm's weaknesses. One could argue Starbucks offers the same product in all countries where it operates. It does not customize it according to the different tastes of people in different geographies. For some customers, this is an issue, and they prefer competitor products tailored to their specific geographical preferences. In addition, Starbucks has a premium price policy, which is not in line with most customers' expectations. Not all countries have enough middle and high-income class individuals who can afford to pay extra for their coffee. Weakness number 3 would be the high employee turnover that the chain's coffee shops have. It is difficult to serve coffee as a premium product when the company's baristas have been on the job for only a couple of weeks. In terms of opportunities, we can say the following. Starbucks can access new countries easily. It simply has to apply its existing business model in these new geographies. Emerging markets can be a great source of growth for the company. Starbucks has also entered agreements within the entertainment industry and partnered with movie-producing companies. That can be a great opportunity for the firm, too. One of the biggest threats for Starbucks is the saturation of the American market, which is where most of its outlets are located. Consumers are increasingly invested in healthier lifestyle, and some substitute products are better positioned to capture the attention of the health-conscious clientele. Okay, we'll stop here. This is what a SWOT analysis looks like in practice. The depth of the observations included in the analysis depends on the information we have about the company. I'm sure an industry practitioner would be capable to prepare a much deeper analysis. However, the important point is you now know how to perform a SWOT analysis on your own, and you can distinguish the important questions from the rest when it comes to analyzing a company. SWOT analysis is a great tool that allows us to visualize and concentrate on some of the most important topics when analyzing a company. This will do for now. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so we have four dimensions to discuss: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of Starbucks. So I would like to call 4 members in our class, and each of the 4 members will need to present a dimension. Okay, so one for the strengths, one for the weaknesses, one for the opportunities, and one for the threats. Are you ready? Minh Quân.
Yeah, okay, teacher. First of all, I want to analyze the trend of Starbucks. And the first strength of Starbucks is the strong brand recognition. Thus, Starbucks have a premium coffee and also have a premium brand. That's Starbucks very popular. And the second sector of trend of Starbucks, that's the clients love the atmosphere in Starbucks. And the coffee reaching experience to the Starbucks is very cozy and very easy to work and to learn. And the next one is Starbucks is present all over the world. Clients can find Starbucks even when travel overseas, and they Starbucks has everywhere in the over the world. And the final one is the per supply chain management. They also raise excellent coffee to everyone to have a excellent drink. Yes, and that's my analysis of trend.
Yeah, thank you. It's correct. When you analyze the strengths, you think about the advantages that they can have in terms of their resources, how they are good at using their resources, such as the strong brand name, and they have human resources, and they have a very strong structure, and they have good marketing strategy. They have the atmosphere, which is very warm and lovely. and they are present all over the world. So they are their strengths, which they can control internally, under their control, under their hands, that they can improve time after time. So you can also add in based on your experiences from the perspective of a customer, or you can search for more information on the internet to add in the strengths. So I would like to call someone else, Minh.
Yes, I want to analyze about opportunities of the Starbucks. So I think because uh, Starbucks is very big company and everybody know this brand. So they have a lot of experience, money, and and human resource to easily to accept and adopt a new market, new countries, because it's, for example, they can easily to access uh, some countries, developing countries or developed countries, because they have because they has experience and knowledge about new market. And the second is they can easily to argue with the movie producer to wait what to wait for minutes uh, to put to put in into some movies, and actors can drink or uh, to uh, to show the emotion about the coffee of the Starbucks, is that leads to move mo- people who see the movie is uh, very good, and they can highly recommend. And that's a reason I think is the opportunities of the Starbucks is very too easy to accept a new countries and achieve with movie producers. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. So in terms of the opportunities, you need to think about the chances, the chances, the chances that come from the external environment, come from the outside, such as the alliance with the partners, such as the globalization, the market trends, and the consumer taste, for example, and the development of in the society, and the well-being of a society in different countries. So in order to respond to this globalization and the social trends and the customer demands, the products and services of Starbucks have been transformed significantly in the recent years. They have tried to adapt to the social trends, and they have tried to satisfy the demands of customers. Yes, so think about opportunities you can take into consideration on the trends in the market and the globalization as well, and the chances for Starbucks to enter the foreign market. Okay, so now I would like to call another one, Tan Bibi.
Okay, that I'm now going to talk about the weakness of the Starbucks. And firstly, Starbucks is not customized to local taste, because I think they is not careful about searching or discover the taste of the local, so the taste is not suitable for them. And the second is the price is very expensive, so it's not affordable for some local so some country. Uh, And the last one is the high employee turnover, because in the Starbucks shop there are only the couple for the morning and the evening, and I think it is not suitable for them to serve for all the customer. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so I think that you follow the clip very well, and you were able to catch some main points. So it's not really hard to understand, right? Okay. Anyone else? Regarding the weaknesses, you can also add more weaknesses from the perspective of the customers. Khánh Linh.
Oh yes, so teacher, right now I want to add some my thinking, my opinion, from my perspective that Starbucks have for the strength. So you can see that in the video, Starbucks aware that they have a strong brand recognition. So and I think that they use this advantage to make their own, to customize, to design their own cups, straw, or also the cover for the cup to keep it cold or to keep it hot. So this the cup is very famous, and because of the design is very unique, and it's eco-friendly. It's friendly for environment because you can reusable. And whenever time when I see the customer go to the Starbucks, they didn't ask for the cup, they just give the cup and give the order. So the barista just refill the water in the cup, so they can get it and go everywhere they want. And I think that they will just more by using their own cup and their own straw too, and because they know it's clean. And also it's this one is very opportunity because it's like we can use it as a souvenir, and which is the customer right now they are doing the marketing for the brand already. And also when you're using the cup from the Starbucks, you will feel like a bit luxury, and it will be appropriate when you're meeting with your partner or your client. When you're drinking water, you put the cup on the table. You This will make you look luxury and professional too, because of the design. It's very special. And also another trick that I found from my perspective from Starbucks. This is we can see that the Starbucks employee, the barista is lack of interacting with the customer, because in US, the US model, they want to serve the customer, the consumer quickly. Like it's like takeaway coffee. So they don't want to. They didn't train their employee to interacting with the customer a lot. But you can see that in different country, we have a different coffee culture. Like Vietnam and Australia, we usually come to our local coffee shop to have to interact, to chatting with the barista, like talking about how was your day, because we by the interacting we can gain our energy of the day. We will feel happy by their compliment or something like that. And it will make us it will make the coffee shop more friendly, and we feel like, oh, I want to come back to this coffee shop again, so to support them and to meet that person. And that is one of the things I think that Starbucks might be consider to train their employee more. Yes, so that is my opinion, teacher.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Very interesting. I think that the issues that they are having in relation to their employees can be considered as their weakness. Yeah, Starbucks actually they have been involved in the issue of keeping like of reducing the turnover rate and maintaining the good behaviors of employees. They have been involved in a kind of scandal, a scandal about customer relationship, customer service. Yeah, so it can be explained by their weakness in terms of the training, in terms of the employee orientation, and how they lead their employees. They lead and they inspire and they encourage their employees to improve the customer service quality. So I think that it can be considered as a weakness. Yeah, and you also gave an example about the feeling that customers can have when they hold the cup of Starbucks. I think it is strongly related to the strong brand name of Starbucks. It is an advantage of them, a brand name, a very big brand name, globally recognized. So everyone will like think that okay, she or he is using Starbucks. So very fashionable, very modern, and they also they also like the icon, they also like the logo and the slogan of Starbucks as well. So thank you for your contribution. I also see the comments from Hải Anh, the weakness, not customized in local taste, that's right. And it's also expensive, high employee turnover, and not easily to affordable in on countries. Yeah, so that's why Starbucks can be considered as a high segment, high market segment service in Vietnam. It targets the high-end customers in Vietnam who have quite good level of income, who are willing to spend their free time with their family and friends in a luxurious atmosphere of Starbucks. So it depends on their marketing strategy, but it's not easy to afford Starbucks coffee everywhere, every place. Minh Quân. Minh Quân, you have any opinion?
No, teacher. I just want to talk about the threat.
Okay, yeah, so you can continue with the threat.
Oh, okay. I have four threat that the Starbucks has been encountered. That the one of the biggest threats for Starbucks is the saturation of of the American market, which is where most of its outlets are located, because in American has a lot of Starbucks, and everyone feels kind of bored. So that's the first threat. And move on to a second threat, this healthy lifestyle trend. Customers are increasingly invest in healthier lifestyle, and some substitute products are better positioned to capture the attention of health concerns. So the next one is global growth is another threat. Starbucks has been expanding aggressively into Asia countries such as China, but the sales are not meeting expectations. Chinese culture is primarily, primarily a tea drinking culture, and Starbucks see this as an untapped opportunity. Similarly, Starbucks will find it difficult to expand into regions such as the UK that already has a loyal following with Costa Coffee. And similarly, countries like Canada and Australia also have a strong brand loyalty with Tim Hortons and Gloria Jeans and respectively. So the final one is substitutes are the largest threat to Starbucks. There are many options of sodas, flavored water, fruit juice, and teas with additional brand joining the market. Uh, energy drink are energy drink and healthier beverage option will make it increasingly difficult for Starbucks to maintain its market share. And this is my four strong threat to the Starbucks. as influence the Starbucks company. Yeah, that's my own opinion.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so the consideration of the dress, we need to think about competitions. It can be direct competition, or it can be related to the substitutes. The substitutes, yes, they are the products or they are the service that are not directly similar to our products, but they can compete with us. They can replace us, but they are not directly and 100% similar to our product. So yeah, you are right when you mention the substitutes and also the global competition. Starbucks try to invade different continents and different geographic locations, they have to be ready to overcome the competition in the local market. So in Australia, they have to overcome the competition with Gloria Jeans, and in Vietnam, they have to deal with Highlands and coffee house and other local brands as well. So it is very significant, and we need to consider it in the local context. Okay, thank you for your contribution. So I think that you know how to identify the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Remember again, the strengths and weaknesses are related to the internal resources. The opportunities and threats, they are related to the outside forces, outside factors. So the outside factors, you can think about the macro level, such as the politics, the economic, society, and environment in general. And or you can also think about the micro environment, including customers, competitors, substitutes, threats of new entrants. Yeah, so you can consider so many different factors in your analysis. Now I think that we can have a break, and after the break, I want your group, each group, okay, each group, please select a company, an organization. It can be in Vietnam or it can be a global company. You select a company which is well known, and you need to analyze the SWOT. Give me the SWOT, the SWOT for your selected company. Okay, for example, you can select FPT, Unilever, you can select Facebook, or in Vietnam, you can select Vingroup or Vinamilk, okay, or Shopee or Lazada. So think about any examples and try to give me the SWOT model of your example. Now we can have a break for around 20 minutes and see you after the break. Okay, so are you ready? Have you finished? Khánh Linh.
Yes, so I'm from Group 4 and I'm going to share my screen right now, and we're going to talk about Trung Nguyên Coffee Shop, one of the first choice coffee for Vietnamese local customer. Yes.
Okay, so you are from Group 4, right?
Yes, we are from Group 4.
Okay, I would like to allocate another group to be the feedback group, which who would give you some questions after you finish. So for group 4, I would like to assign group 1 of group 5 to give questions.
Okay.
So group 5, please pay attention because you need to ask question at the end.
Yes. So we are going to do the analyze based on the SWOT model and from Trung Nguyên Legend. So first about the strength. This is a well-known brand in Vietnam, and is considered one of the leading famous brand in Vietnam coffee market. So we can see that is the local customer first choice, and we usually can see that our parents usually buy the souvenir, buy the product, Trung Nguyên products like coffee package as a souvenir. So we can see that Trung Nguyên product is like an icon for the Vietnamese coffee, and the local they locate they have more than they have a coffee shop in more than 60 countries around the world, and we can see that there's a lot of Vietnamese immigrants around the world, and also it's, we can see that the foreigner customer really care and really want to try Trung Nguyên product, the coffee in Trung Nguyên, and we can see, and one of the other strength, the second strength is the product is their product is very high quality, because I have heard about the owner. He spent a lot of time to research how to raise, how to plant, how to harvest, how to choose the coffee bean in the high quality, with the high quality, and they farm, he have farming, he have a farm, a harvest by himself, and it's produced naturally, and they have their own technique to drink, to roast, to produce the coffee bean, and it's meet the local customer need, because we can see that Vietnamese customer, they really we will really round about our coffee, and we have a knowledge, really deep knowledge about our coffee, and we know what is the good, how to identify the good coffee. So it meet the local customer need. The third one is focus on selling the coffee product, and which is mean their menu is very focused on a lot of coffee drink, and also they have they selling the roasted and raw coffee in package, so the customer they can buy it and bring it home and make their own coffee at every time they want, so they don't need to come to the coffee shop to taste that same taste. Okay, and for the conclusion, we can see that the Trung Nguyên Legend has focus, intense focus on the local customer taste and their favorite, which is taste environment. They really focus on the taste environment, and for the opportunity, we can see that they have a location in 60 country, and very well known in Vietnam. So we can, which is also they are icon of Vietnamese coffee. So they can expand their business model. They can export their product to other country, which can help them to increase the revenue by selling in foreign market. And we know that the currency in other country is high. Their money currency is a little bit higher than our currency, and it's also attract the foreign customer. So they will expand more on the target customer, not only the local one but also the foreign one. So because they find it's very interesting and they want to try unfamiliar technique, how to make a coffee by filter, by fin. So Trung Nguyên is only the coffee shop in Vietnam, right? I think that they make a unique make a the technique to make a coffee by filter, it's quite the same like in Italy, and for the US, I think that they didn't have this technique. They usually have like a flour, like coffee flour. They read it already, and they just put some water, and it's not really have a strong taste like coffee made by Fin, and they can save the money for marketing by mouth to mouth, because the local customer, we are really wow about our Vietnamese coffee, and Trung Nguyên is the representative of our coffee market. And so when the foreigner coming to our country and ask, what is your famous coffee shop, you will recommend them to go to Trung Nguyên Legend, because their product is very high quality, and the environment there, yeah, we see that we can see that the employee, the employee, they have a uniform, yeah, the uniform representative of Vietnam. They have a Vietnamese a little bit culture design in their uniform, and the environment from the coffee shop is very familiar to and quite represent Vietnam like the feel of Vietnam. Yes, and we can see that because they intend focus on local customer, so they can conserve a loyal customer base, which is they on, they always have a customer, so they don't need to worry about that. They just want to keep improve their product to conserve to get better. So, but on the other hand, Trung has also have a lot of weakness. First, their price is very expensive. So we can see that their target customer is only for high income consumer. And the menu is only focused on coffee product. So there is no update new menu for the teenager. Uh, so and only focus for the coffee lover. And like me, I really don't like go to Trung Nguyen coffee because coffee shop because like I, I really I'm a very kind person like sugary drink. I like to have matcha matcha latte, and they don't have that. They just have coffee, and I found it's very boring. And the third one is lack of promotion. They are aware of their brand is very their reputation is very high, so they don't want to have a promotion which will decrease their reputation. And so I think that's why they have a lack of promotion, and also the target customer is for a high income, which is I think that they judge their brand and their product in the high level, and I think it's fair, but it's hard for the young population, the young customer to consume and to buy their product, and there's a limited of coffee shop location. Yeah, I, from my perspective, I think that Trung Nguyen coffee shop is only on the main street, on the center of any main street or district. Like usually have it on district one, district three, and from the other district, I think that they don't have a lot of the coffee shop, Trung Nguyen coffee shop there, and which is will reduce their customer. It's hard for them to approach and buy the coffee the Trung Nguyen product. And the fourth one is they didn't have they didn't use a lot of technological application really much. Before, I don't think that they have an app or to keep track on the customer reward. So but recently when I come to them and they say that they have an app just now, and we if we don't ask them, we didn't know about it. So I think that they didn't involve and develop their technology very much. And the fifth, we can see that the increasing of the competitive from the foreign company, coffee company, which is the tax environment. The competitor is like Starbucks, Highland, and they have a variety of choice for all the customer, like coffee and sugary drinks, which is also meet the young customer taste, like drink from matcha, drink smoothie. Yes, so not only for the coffee, and also they have some great dessert. And I think in Trung Nguyen the dessert is very lack of it, and they didn't have a lot of choice for the dessert, uh, and the promotion, and they have a lot of voucher reward card, and they also use the gamification marketing in their marketing plan. Like I remember they say that if you come to our shop like 5 times, you will get this discount, or you will get 1 cup of coffee for free, something like that. And it's using the gamification marketing, and the location is everywhere. We can see Highland in everywhere, and so the customer can approach to and buy the product very easily. And the price is cheaper. I think it's cheaper than Trung Nguyen. And they the price is cheaper, but the size large is is larger. The size of coffee is larger than Trung Nguyên. And the fifth one is they using technology, so you can order online, and they meet the Gen Z customer. So that is the end of our presentation. So are there any question
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Very detailed, very careful analysis. And you were able to identify so many different factors involved in the 4 dimensions of the SWOT analysis. And I agree with you that Trung Nguyên, they are encountering problems in terms of the cost, the fee, the pricing strategy. The pricing strategy that they use is not maybe really suitable for every kinds of customer, for every segments of customers. So yeah, their weaknesses can involve the pricing strategy, the locations, and also the customer service, because they are using franchise, and they cannot control the total quality of the service in every branch, in every franchise, in every franchisee store. So it's very hard to ensure the consistency in terms of the quality of the service. And Trung Nguyên, they are facing a lot of competition from substitutes and from the direct competitors as well. They have the strong brand name, yeah, I agree, but they also lack the product diversity. The product diversity is not really high, and yeah, these are some problems, and they also do not really apply so much of technology in their business model. So how about group number 5? Do you have any questions? Group number 5, can you give at least one question for the presenting group?
I think it's very deeply and easy to understand, and I think it's always in the fact they are analyzed very carefully. I think it's very easy to understand.
Okay, so do you have any suggestion? Like you want to add some things? Or you want to suggest any other factors?
I think I don't have any another question, but I want to group 5 we will analyze the year case study of us.
Okay, so group 4, you did a great job. So there are not really any questions for you. So now we can move to group number 5. You can begin
Yes.
now.
Okay. I want to share screen. Wait for minutes. You can see a screen, teacher.
Yes, I can see it.
So, we want to analyze. We analyze about Vinamilk. It's one of the biggest company in the Vietnam about milk. So, the first we want to say about the strength of the milk. The Vinamilk is the 5th largest company in Vietnam since 2007, and the strength. I'm sorry. Yes. The product of the first is the product quality. It's high quality products but lower prices than imported products of the same type of the owns in the largest market in share in Vietnam among suppliers of similar products. The the wide range of products to meet the needs of audience, wide distribution audience. The second is the wide distribution network. Um, Vinamilk's dairy production distribution network stretches across the country and also export to foreign markets. The next is to invest in the modern high quality equipment and technology. Uh, so Vinamilk is the one of the company in the Vietnam that's owned the system of the machinery using drying technology developed by the Niro of the Denmark, ensuring quality dairy products to consumers. The next is the methodical and professional marketing strategy. Vinomic attaches great importance to market research and understanding a user's taste, as well as the sales activities of distributors, listening to customer feedback, and in many aspects, making good use of the media, social network to make a brand to thanks that Vinamilk provide the best and the most suitable dairy products to consumers. The next is we want to analyze the weakness. So the weakness is unable to control the research of the raw materials. Due to the increased the demand for fresh milk of the users, domestic raw materials only meet about 30% of the production needs, while 70% are imported from the New Zealand, the US, the Europe, or Japan. Therefore, input cost is increased and product price is also increased. However, Vinamilk is also promoting the development of the raw material areas to serve the increasing needs of the domestic people. The second is the market shares of the powdered milk is not high. With the increasingly stricter demand from users, along with the competition from foreign milk, brands imported from the UK, USA, or Netherlands, making Avena Milk no longer hold a monopoly position in the dairy market. According to the report, in the Vietnamese market, imported milk account for 65%, Vinamilk account for 16%, and Dutch Lady account for 20%. So, and another thing is we see the opportunities of Vinamilk is opportunities is supplies raw materials being supported by the government, imported materials and reduced tax rate. The second is the number of the potential customer is high and there is a great demand. The third is competitors are gradually weakening and Vietnamese people thinking about using milk is gradual change. The last one is trade analyzed. We see is the market entries of many strong competitors. For example, the Nestle, Dutch Lady, Apud. The second is search of the raw material is not stable. The last is the customer is the export market has many risks. Customer prefer to use the foreign milk. 90% of the Vinamilk export profit comes from the exporting to Iraq market. However, this is one of the most established region in the world, so its export profit to is to this market is not as much expected. So that's our presentation of Vinamilk.
Okay, thank you. Your presentation is quite good. And the case of Vinamilk is always very interesting because this is a local brand, a very strong brand name. I would like to ask you for more clarification regarding the opportunities. You mentioned that Vietnamese people's thinking about using milk is gradually changing. Can you explain more clearly how does it change?
Yes. So now so nowadays there are many Vietnamese uh, dairy brands producing fresh milk to the market, creating products diversity and the competition. But that's also why there have been many incentives of the food safety, poor quality products, causing this repute with the consumers. So they go back to using imported brands of the portable milk of the or famous brands of French fresh milk. I I will type in the text box to you easy to read and understand my uh, mind.
Okay, so I get it. You mean that the Vietnamese consumers, they are more concerned about the quality of the products, so they have more trust in the brands with high creditability or high reputation. You mean that? Okay. So group number 1, do you have any questions for group number 5?
No, we actually fine. We don't have any questions.
Okay. So I want to ask you about one more thing. You mentioned that okay, it's a good thing that you recognize the lack of the strong control in terms of raw materials, which is a weakness of Vinamilk. So the company, they have to solve the problems regarding the controlling of the raw materials. So do you have any suggestion? What should they do in order to ensure more stability in using raw materials? Do you have any suggestion?
Well, I think unable to control the source of the raw materials. Well, I think the maybe if the Vinamilk have the um, high finance, they can uh, invest about human resource. Maybe the um, expert in uh, so it's to rent some expert, foreign expert to control and uh, and uh, and observe all process of the raw materials, and some expert to uh, to care and protect the 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 calf. So I think that's all. I don't have many idea about it. Sorry about that.
Oh, thank you. It's good enough that you mentioned the advantages of using experts. Okay, so the leaders, they may ask for help from the external consultants, the business consultants, or they can use some internal specialists who have expertise in this area in how to to purchase and to manage the raw materials. And one solution that they can think of is that they need to own their supply chain. They need to have the total control over their supply chain. So it means that they can use the backward integration strategy. I will type it here for your reference. Backward integration strategy. It means that they can buy and they can own their suppliers. So they will control the supply chain totally, strongly. So we have 15 minutes left. Minh Quân.
And I'm from Rupchi and I have a presentation teacher.
Okay.
And the thing is accepting that we have the same company to Group 5, the Vinamilk, and I want to add some more information.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can present now.
It's unexpected. I don't even know that. Yeah, I can share my screen right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you can select the same case, but it's good if you can add more perspectives.
I have a more significant idea want to talk about. Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I want to talk about swap analyze Vietnamese companies, and we'll just talk about the background of Vietnamese companies. About Vinamilk. Vinamilk is a Vietnamese dairy company that was established in 1976. The company has grown today to become the largest dairy company of Vietnam. The company's headquarters are located in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and the company products include liquid and powdered milk, and also other dairy products like condensed milk, ice cream, yogurt, infant cereal, yogurt drink, fruit juice, tea, cheese, and health drink. So, want to check the main point to SWOT analyze. First of all, I want to check the trend. What's about the trend? First, I want to talk about the strong financial growth over years, making it most valuable brand in Vietnam. And the second one is diversified products portfolio and increasing through launch of new products. And the next one is serving over 50 countries globally with the continuous expansion. And the next one is strong performance of subsidiaries in both domestic and international markets. And the next one is leading the Vietnamese dairy industry through the innovation. And finally is to approach the supply chain and excellent distribution network. And I think the next one is weaknesses. I think Vinamilk is just have only one weakness, that the quality concern impacting Vinamilk brand. That's the only the weakness of Vinamilk company. So the next one, the opportunity, that I want to add more and more. That's the growing demand from China is an opportunity to increase market share. And the next one is expansion in the sports, in nutrition of protein market will be a game changer. So the final one opportunity is per capita annual consumption of Vietnam below Asia average indicates growth potential. And the final sector I want to talk about is the threat. That's the first threat is increasing demand for alternate milk and dairy products. The next one is pandemic has led to disruption in operation. And the final one I want to ask is the competitive with other brands include PHU Milk and PHU Milk and Milo, etc. And so that's in my own opinion. I want to add more to the Group 5, and we have unexpecting that we have a same idea. So that's all I want to talk about. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. So it's interesting that you took into consideration the influence of the COVID-19 pandemic to the operations of Vinamilk, And you also recognize the increasing demand from the Chinese market, from the China market. It's a good point that you could add in. So I want to ask you, you mentioned that the main weakness of Vinamilk is about the quality. Can you explain further? How is it significant? How is it significant in terms of the quality of the product of Vinamilk?
In my perspective, when the milk have the arrow product, they have encountered with arrow product, and that product is the 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 buyer had to buy that arrow product, and they uh, they give the feedback that's impact the Vinamilk companies more silly. Let's make the company more silly because if the Vinamilk company have encountered the arrow products, so that can influence that can impact the Vinamilk because has a error product. Yeah, that's my opinion about that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So I got it that they have been involved in some scandals related to quality of the product. Kanlin, do you have any suggestions?
Yes, so teacher, I think that the quality in Vietnamese milk product, yes, a little bit scandal. But the thing is, they didn't update or develop their new product. Example, like right now, we can see that the customer is care more about their healthier lifestyle, and like me, we ask them. I going to diet and I searching about drinking milk instead of eating more food, and I just want to drink milk so I can lose my weight. And I have research that they say drinking milk is not really help you to decrease your fat, because there's also have a fat in there, and but they have a lack of of the calcium, which make you grow higher. So in Vinamilk, they didn't have the product that saying they have lack of fat. They still the same products every year. And when I using TH2 milk, they have organic milk, which is we can see that people nowadays we consider about how the company raise and feed their raw material like cow, and it will affect to the product. And also they have a product like which name is high calorie, which is TH2 milk high calorie, which is they have a calorie the calcium is higher, is very high, but they have a little bit of fat. So when you go on diet, you can use this product, and that's also give me like that is also the reason why a lot of Vietnamese, a lot of people try to use the milk product from foreigner, because they have a variety of product with more healthier option. And in Vietnam market right now they have black a bit, but TH2 milk trying their best on doing it, but Vinamilk are still staying the same. So I want them to innovate, to be more creative, and to be develop their technique, how to produce their milk, how to produce their product, and how to conserve them. That is one of the things that they should consider. That's my opinion.
Okay, thanks for your suggestion. So in addition to the scandal related to quality, it is also recommended that the company need to innovate their products more quickly, more rapidly. Okay, the innovation process of Vinamilk is still slow in comparison with their competitors such as TH2 milk and maybe other foreign competitors as well. So it's a good recommendation. We may need to search for more information on the internet in relation to this weakness. For example, we can search for more information about the customer feedbacks about the products of Vinamilk, how they think about the products of Vinamilk. But Khánh Linh opinions is also an opinion from the perspective of customer that we can take into consideration. Okay, so thanks for your contribution. I think we just have 5 minutes left, so we still have group number 2 and group number 2 and group number okay, we already have group 4. We already have group 4 and group 5 and group 1. Sorry, group 4, group 5 and group 3. So we still have group 1 and group 2, right? So in the next class, at the beginning of next class, group 1 and group 2 will need to present their SWOT model. Is it okay? So let me see. We do not have any group presentation for today, right? Hôm nay mình có thuyết trình nhóm của nhóm nào không các bạn? Hình như thứ bảy mình mới thuyết trình đúng không? Ok, thứ bảy. Okay, so now you have a homework. So far we have understand how to do the SWOT model, and now you also need to know how to analyze the Porter 5 forces. Okay, Porter 5 forces. It is a model of Porter, and Porter suggested that we need to analyze the 5 factors in the microenvironment, including the competitors, suppliers, threats of new entrants, customers, and substitutes. Okay, based on the Porter's 5 forces research, managers, they need to analyze the power of competitors, of suppliers, threats of new entrants, customers, and substitutes. Okay, now I would like to share with you a clip. It's about Netflix Porter 5 forces analysis. I want you to watch it at home, and you might take notes. And at the end, and in the next class, I would like to ask you about the power of competitors, suppliers, threats of new entrants, customers, and substitutes in the case of Netflix. What do you think about their powers, the power of these partners, and how Netflix need to solve it? Okay, so again, remember to watch the clip at home and take notes, and you might give a brief analysis about the power of their forces, including competitors, suppliers, threat of new entrants, customer, and substitutes. And based on that, you can suggest some recommendations for Netflix in order to control these forces. You understand? Rồi về nhà các em xem cho cô cái clip này, nó là phân tích 5 cái yếu tố. Theo mô hình của Porter thì chúng ta có 5 yếu tố trong môi trường vĩ mô mà các doanh nghiệp người ta phải control được, người ta phải quản lý được. Ví dụ như là áp lực từ khách hàng, áp lực từ đối thủ cạnh tranh, áp lực từ sản phẩm thay thế, áp lực từ đối thủ tiềm ẩn. Thế thì các em sẽ xem cái clip này, người ta đã phân tích sẵn cho mình rồi về mô hình của Netflix, về 5 cái forces này. Thì các bạn có thể take notes và các bạn có thể ghi chú lại, và bữa sau các bạn present lại cho cô là các bạn đã take notes những gì, và các bạn cũng đưa cho cô một số những cái recommendations làm sao để Netflix người ta có thể quản lý được những cái yếu tố này một cách tốt đẹp hơn, hiệu quả hơn ha. Just some suggestion. It's already mentioned in the clip, but you can add in based on your perspective, or you can do more online searching to add more information if you want. So it is an individual homework. You can take notes on a Word file and just add some bullet points to demonstrate your answer. Okay? You don't need to write any report at all. Mọi người không cần phải làm report hay gì hết nha. Mọi người chỉ cho cô một số những cái gạch đầu dòng, những cái ý mà mọi người có thể take notes được, và bữa sau mọi người cho cô cái gọi là cái overview và cái recommendations mà mọi người có thể nghĩ ra. Okay, do you have any question? Minh Tú.
I'm sorry, teacher. I want to absent and study today because I have IELTS exam.
Oh, you have another exam?
Yes, I have a IELTS exam.
An IELTS exam, okay?
Yes.
So I will take note of it. So you can be absent
Yes.
with reasonable reason, of course. Now I would like to check attendance. Wait for me, please, everyone. I'm sorry today I'm not really good today. I'm feeling quite not really okay. So that's why my speaking was not really fluent, and I'm sorry about it. So before we go, I would like to check attendance.